Hey, what's up my friends? In this video, I am going to be walking you through setting up your Stripe account, and I'm also going to be navigating the Stripe dashboard and showing you the important areas that matter for your business. If you are a healing arts practitioner and you're getting started or you're learning how to use Stripe, you need this tool to start accepting payments. This is a fundamental tool for your business to be able to create invoices, to be able to set up recurring payments if you have some sort of membership for your customers, to be able to create payment links for one-time payments. For example, if you're somebody who hosts events and you want somebody to sign up and pay you for your event, this is a great tool that you are going to need for your business to start making money. Most other tools out there and other software, like for example, booking software, require something like Stripe to be able to process payment via the booking calendar. So if you're looking to get started on using Stripe, or you're learning and improving your knowledge on how to use Stripe and you are a healing arts practitioner, you are in the right spot. So let's get started, and make sure to subscribe, because in other videos I am going to be walking you through how to actually use some of the features inside of Stripe, things like how to set up your products, how to set up your payment links, things like that. So make sure to subscribe. Let's get started. All right, my friends. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to go into Stripe, and you can just go ahead and do a quick Google search for Stripe. It's going to bring you to the first page on their site here. And if you go ahead and click on the Stripe website, it's going to bring you to this window here. And the first thing that you'll do is you'll go ahead and click into this Start Now button, and it's going to bring you into this section where it's going to ask you to create your account. Now you'll go ahead and insert your email, you'll go ahead and insert your full name and the country that you reside in or that your business resides in, and then go ahead and select your password. Now it's going to ask you for a strong password here, and then from here you're going to go ahead and hit create account. Now from here, Stripe is going to ask you to verify your email. Go ahead and click on that. It's going to take you then to go ahead and go over to your email account and go ahead and hit that verify button on inside of your email. Once you go ahead and verify that email, you will then see a window that looks like this, and it's going to then prompt you to start setting up your account. Now this is the fastest and easiest way to get to it. You can obviously skip it for now and access this section here from the Stripe dashboard, but I would highly recommend to use the time right now to start setting up your business profile. All right, so once you go ahead and activate your payments and you hit that button there, it's going to walk you through these steps on setting up your business details and all of your payment details as well. So go ahead and start walking through this. You're going to go ahead and hit select your business location, which I'm going to go ahead and select United States. The type of business is going to most likely be an individual. If you're somebody who has multiple teams, or if you're a nonprofit organization, go ahead and make sure that you select the right category there for your business. Go ahead and hit select or select continue. All right, so now it's going to ask you to verify your personal details. So what is your legal name, first and last name? Go ahead and enter your email address if it's not already in there. You're going to enter in your birth date and then your home address. So you've already selected the United States. Go ahead and input your home address inside of there. If it autofills, which it may do that, make sure that it doesn't change anything else that you had already previously selected. So it looked like it changed my email address. I'm going to go back to my original email address. Make sure that everything in here for my home address and my phone number is accurate. And then you're going to insert the last 4 digits of your social. So go ahead and select continue. I'm going to hit no thanks on Google, prompting me to save my information. So now here is where you are going to enter your taxpayer identification number. All right, so this is something, or your employer identification number, so your EIN. So if you already have an LLC set up, this is where you're going to want to input that. If you don't have an LLC set up, definitely set up your LLC. That is step number 1 in starting a business, because and then you can then apply for an EIN number from the IRS, and you can associate all of your business transactions and all of your business information from via that EIN number, and not to your personal social security number. That is a huge step that you want to make sure that you want to input there. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and input a fake number here because I'm not actually creating this account. I already have a Stripe account set up. And so doing business as, this is in case you have a DBA. So this is doing business as, if your LLC is Healing Enterprises LLC, then what is your actual business name? And your business name is Healing the World, whatever. Then you would put in Healing the World inside of here. Okay. And again, your LLC is Healing Enterprises or something like that, LLC. Okay. So you could either, if you have that, make sure that you go ahead and identify that in there correctly. All right. So now you're going to select your industry. So for your industry, most likely it's going to be professional services, or somewhere in the line of health and wellness, maybe personal services. If you find that here, health and wellness coaching, just make sure that you identify your business as accurate as possible. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and select consulting for my industry. The business website, which is super crucial. If you don't have a website, it does allow you to input a social media link in there, which is totally fine. However, at some point, do expect that Stripe will reach out to you to confirm a website where you actually accept payments. Okay, so that's something that's going to be more than just a social media link. For example, Stripe reached out to us and asked us for our booking page, our booking link, right? And so that was the Acuity link. We use Acuity for our studio. And so they wanted us to update the business website with the Acuity link, because that is where we are actually accepting payments and people can see the services that they're paying for. And they always want to make sure that you are legit. All right. So just keep that as an FYI. So your product description, this is something that you can input a short description on what your services are. So we provide, and don't copy mine, make sure that you input something that is accurate to you. We provide health and wellness services. So there you go. Again, make sure that you input a description that is accurate to your business as to what you provide. And you can see here, provide a 1 to 2 sentence description. Make sure to note when you typically charge your customers. All right, so let me see. During checkout. Okay, so most likely you are processing payments right then and there as you are offering your services, or maybe hosting events. Okay, so go ahead and hit continue. And now it's going to bring us into our fulfillment details. This one's super easy. Describe how you fulfill orders. If you are not doing something, when it's product related and it's something that is like a customer service, if you're providing reiki sessions or massage therapy or one-off events, typically what this will look like is going to be within 1 day. Okay, so people receive their goods or services within 1 day. So for most of you, it's going to be at the time of that you're charging your customer. If you are doing products, make sure to input that as accurately as possible, most likely within 2 weeks. All right, so go ahead and hit continue. All right, so now the statement descriptor, we put in Healing the World. We want to change this because this is going to be what shows up in somebody's bank description. All right, so this is important because you don't want anybody disputing your payment. You want somebody to know what it is that they are paying for right off the bat. So most likely this is going to be something that is going to be maybe your business name, and I'll just put in there Healing Services, something short like that. I don't think it should be between 5 to 22 characters. Now for the shortened descriptor, this is the same thing, it's just shortened. Okay, so all right, so we can do something like event if it's something that you are charging for an event, but this is giving you an example here as to what it's going to look like as a shortened descriptor, and this is going to be the longer one. All right, so for customer support number, you want to make sure that you input a customer support number. You're going to need it. If you don't have an additional or secondary phone number, then it's going to be your primary phone number that you're going to need to input. It is required from Stripe, so you have no other option if you don't have a secondary phone number. All right, so let's go ahead and hit continue on this one. And now it's going to ask us for your bank details. So go ahead and select the bank that you bank with. and it's going to bring you to their login information. And here is where we would then log in. All right, so once you've entered in your username and password, you're going to go ahead and sign into your bank account, and then it's going to continue to prompt you through setting up Stripe to your Wells Fargo account. It's going to then send you a one-time code. So go ahead and select your phone number there. And then it's going to ask you for the code, which you'll then input inside of here. And then it's going to ask you which accounts, if you have multiple accounts inside of your bank account, it's going to select or ask you which account do you want to use for your Stripe. So whether it's going to be for paying out other people or to be receiving incoming payments. All right, so make sure that you go ahead and select the correct one. And let's go ahead and select continue. You go ahead and select, I have read the terms and conditions. Make sure you read the terms and conditions. Go ahead and select connect, and there you go. Save account with link. This is totally up to you if you want to go ahead and do that. If you want to make it faster as you're logging in and you're connecting your account, I'm just going to go ahead and select not now, and we are all done. Our bank account is now connected to our Stripe account. So go ahead and select continue. Now, in order to keep your account secure, you can use either SMS, or you can add other methods like an authenticator app or a security key. I'm just going to go ahead and select SMS and leave it as is, but go ahead and select, choose whichever option you feel the most comfortable with. All right, so for automating sales tax, I'm not going to be charging any taxes on any of our charges. You can go ahead and select if any of these make sense for you. I'm going to go ahead and select skip for now. If this doesn't pertain to you, most likely it will not. All right, so if you do have any questions about taxes, make sure to inform or consult with a tax advisor for your business. So I'm going to go ahead and select skip for now. And now inside of here, you can show customers your climate commitment. So this is in case if you want to contribute, or if you want to show them that you are paying a percentage of your revenue, 1.5, 0.5, or any other sort of agreement that you want to fund for next generation carbon removal. Okay, so totally up to you if you want to do that. Optional. I'm going to go ahead and select no thanks. And then now it's going to bring us to this section here, and it's telling us that we have some missing required information inside of our business details and also inside of our public details. Our management and ownership is all set up. We have our social security number that we input in there, and then we have our bank account already set up, our two-step authentication set up. So let's go back, because it's not going to let us agree and submit to this. Let's go back and see what we're missing here inside of. Okay, so we were missing the business website. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drop in our business website to our booking calendar. Let's go ahead and hit save, and there we go. So I think that was what it was missing also too inside of the public details. All right, so let's go back. Let's go ahead and hit continue. It looks like everything is all in the green now, so we can go ahead and scroll all the way down to the bottom. We can hit agree and submit, and now everything, all of our basic business details, personal or profile details, has all been set up as soon as we entered in and set up our Stripe account. So now, in order to start collecting payments, you have a whole variety of different ways that you can accept payments. You can share a link to your checkout page. You can manually charge a customer. You can invoice a customer. You can use a pre-built payment form that you can embed on your website. Whole different ways that you can set up payments, which we're going to be diving into other videos. So again, make sure to subscribe. We won't be diving into all of that in this video. I do want to make sure to walk you through the dashboard, and also something that is very important, which I'll just mention it here right now, is your API key. Your API key is important because you are going to need this API key for other software. So for example, if you're somebody who uses Acuity for your booking software and you want to accept payments inside of Acuity, then it's going to ask you for your Stripe API key. So where you can find your Stripe API key, and what I recommend doing with this API key, is saving it somewhere where you can easily access it. Okay, so once you go from the Stripe dashboard, up here in the top right corner, you're going to select the developers. Okay, so inside of developers, inside of this menu here, we're going to go over to API keys. All right, so inside of API keys, you're going to find a publishable key, and you're also going to find your secret key. Again, most software out there will ask you for both of these keys in order for you to accept payments via that tool. For example, Acuity. It might ask you for your public key, and then it will also most likely ask you for your secret key. And in that case, you're going to have to reveal the live key, and again, make sure that you save it somewhere safe so that you don't have to come back here and reset it again. Because if you have this set up in multiple different tools and you generate a new secret key, it's going to throw off everything inside of all the other tools. So again, I just highly recommend that you save it somewhere safe. All right, so now let's go back over to the home dashboard. Again, this is what it looks like. This is going to show you all your gross volume, any sales, any refunds, disputes that have came in, your balance that you have within inside of Stripe, and then also to your payouts. So any funds that are held within inside of Stripe or will show up here, and then it'll tell you when the next payout schedule is going to be. Another more analytics down here that it will show you, which is all great to have. It'll show you all your failed payments, anything that didn't actually go through. If you go over here onto the left hand side and you go into payments, this is how then you can start to create the different ways that you can accept payments. You can look at your disputes, anybody who's disputed any transactions, and you can also look at all transactions inside of here, which is great because you can see if somebody says, hey, I paid for that class, and on your end you're like, oh no, it wasn't paid for, you can actually come inside of here and see if it actually was processed or if it failed. Okay, so now we can go over here over to balances. Now this is where it's going to show you how many fund or the amount of funds that you have inside of Stripe, and again what's already going to be paid out. So upcoming to your bank, on the way to your bank, it'll show you all that right here, all of those transactions, which is great. Now inside of customers, this is where you can manually set up a customer. So you can come in here and you can add a customer. It'll ask you for their first name, last name, credit card details, payment details, things like that, bank details if you're going to be setting them up like that. And then from there, you can then create invoices, set them up on recurring charges. Again, make sure to subscribe because we'll dive into this stuff and how to actually set it up in another video. All right, so now for billing, this is another important area that you may want to pay attention to. And this is where you can automate and manage recurring one-off payments. All right, so this is a tool for subscriptions and invoices. It makes it a lot easier for you to charge your customers. You don't have to constantly be sending invoices if that is not your method. If you want to make sure to collect payment right then and there, you can already have them set up in here and you can automatically charge them on their if they have a card on file or their bank account details on file. So now if we go ahead and select the more option here, the other area that you want to pay attention to is the payment links. Okay, so this is where, like I mentioned earlier, this is how you can set up payment links. If you're somebody who hosts events and you want somebody to sign up for your event and also pay you for that event, you can come in here, create a one-time link for that event, and people can give you their money. And it makes it that easy. This is a very great way, and it's a free way for you to create payment links for people to pay you. Now, I will mention an FYI here. Sometimes it does fail. Have been several times where a Stripe link is created, and then when it's actually used, it goes to an error page. So you might find yourself coming across that issue. Be aware of it. Make sure you test your link. Make sure you send it to maybe a friend or two, or a husband, your wife, and test the link to make sure that it actually works. All right, so now if we go back into the more section, the other area that you are going to want to pay attention to is the product catalog. So this is where you would, in order to create that payment link, you will have to first create a product in order for you to create a payment link for that product. So this is where you would set up that one-time event and name the event. You would set the price for the event, and then once that product is created, then you can go back and set up a payment link for that product. All right, so you have in here coupons that you can create, maybe some discount codes for those products. If you're shipping anything, again, if you're doing products, anything out of that you're mailing anything, you can come in here and set your shipping rates. You can set up your tax rates if you are going to be charging taxes, and the pricing tables. Again, these features, the pricing table, the coupons, the products, all this stuff we're going to be covering in another video on how to actually set that up. All right, so the last area that I want you to pay attention to and know how to find is over here in your settings. So the first thing that you, when you click on this little gear button over here in the top right, you can go into your profile. Because we've already set this up all in the beginning, this is where you can find all that information. All right, so you can see what my email is, the name and my password, the authentication method that I've used. You want to make sure you can come in here and confirm that everything is accurate. And if anything needs to be changed, you can go ahead and hit that edit button if you needed to change that email or the name of the account. All right, so the next area over here, back into the gear button, we're going over into our settings. Inside of settings, what you want to pay attention to, you can see all the apps that you can from this dashboard right here. But the other area that I want you to be aware of is the account details. All right, so the account details, again, this is where we set up everything in the beginning. You can come in here, make sure to confirm everything is accurate, or if you needed to change anything, this is where you would find that business address, the account name, and also the time zone and the phone number. Okay, so let's go back into our settings. We want to go into account status. Inside of our account status, this is what is going to show you whether or not Stripe has already confirmed your account. All right, so update your tax ID. This is something that is being requested from Stripe. If Stripe is requesting something, make sure to go through that process and set that up. All right, so the next thing that we want to make sure to do is our public details, or to check out is our public details. Again, remember, we set all this stuff up in the beginning. This is where you can change any of that stuff. You can add any more additional details like this one here, customer support email. If you have something like support at, let's go ahead and enter in ours, support at Heal Create Inspire. If you have a customer support URL for your business, the privacy policy, 100% recommend that you do that. Terms of service, if this is something that would come along when you set up your website, make sure to do that. The more that you can confirm and you can show Stripe that you are a legit business, the better, because you want to avoid anything and everything that will cause your account to get shut down. All right, so let's go ahead and go back. And over here on the left hand side, we're going to see business details. And inside of business details, so it looks like we're still missing some information. Let's go ahead and hit edit. And this was our taxpayer identification number. And this was because I just inputted a random social security number. I didn't actually put my EIN number inside of this one. Again, I already have an account set up. So make sure that that is accurate and you have that set up. Make sure that you go through all of these steps to, again, everything, the account details, the account status, public details, the business details. The next one is the linked external accounts, which is going to show you the bank account that you are actually set up on. You can review which account is set up here. You can add any additional bank accounts. If you change your account for whatever reason, you can come in here and adjust all of that information. So let's go back over into our settings. The next thing that we want to set up is our branding. So here is what your payment portals or payment links, your email receipts, your invoices, all of that information is going, you want it to be branded. You want it to look like your brand. Okay, so what you can do here is you can input a logo. Well, my recommendation would be to input your logo for the icon and also your logo for the logo section. And then you have two options for color here, your brand color and your accent color. You can see that if we scroll through some of these here, you can see that the brand color is this top area, and then this accent color is going to be for our button down here. All right, so this is just another neat feature that gives you a little bit more branding opportunity for your business. So make sure that you go ahead and adjust that. And now if we go back into our settings section, the custom domains. Okay, so this is another area where if you haven't already set up a custom domain for your business, make sure to check out that video because I walk you through that process on setting up a custom domain and the importance of setting up a custom domain. And inside of here, Stripe gives you the opportunity to set up that custom domain so that it's a little bit more branded and easier to remember for you to send out to your clients. All right, my friends, so that wraps it up for this video. I walked you through the entire Stripe dashboard, mainly the important areas that you will want to pay attention to. Stripe offers so many different products and so many different features within the Stripe tool that a lot of them don't actually even pertain to you and your business. But feel free to continue exploring Stripe. Feel free to continue to explore their products and what actually makes sense for your business. We made sure to cover the API key, which that one is important, as other tools will require you to have that Stripe API key and plug it into that software in order for you to accept payments. Again, for example, like Acuity or something like that. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, subscribe to my channel, as I will continue to pour a wealth of knowledge on how to use Stripe and a heck of a lot more wisdom and knowledge on setting up your business as a healing arts practitioner.